There is a danger that as China's significance economically and geopolitically grows, that what we call the old school of U.S.-China relations.
China is here to surpass us and to use their high tech and their emerging technologies.
How China is taking the lead in tech. For years, the world has viewed China as the factory of the globe, a country known for mass-producing cheap goods. But today, that image is rapidly changing. China is no longer just manufacturing for other nations. It's leading the way in some of the most cutting-edge industries of the future. From artificial intelligence to electric vehicles, quantum computing to renewable energy, China has not only caught up, but in many cases, surpassed traditional tech powerhouses like the US, Japan, and Europe. But how did this happen? How did China transition from being a low-cost manufacturing hub to a global leader in advanced technology? And what does it mean for the future of innovation worldwide? The rise of Chinese tech giants. Let's start with a fact that has reshaped global business. Chinese apps are dominating the digital world. Look at TikTok, the first non-US social media giant to take over Western markets. It's changed how people consume content, forcing platforms like Instagram and YouTube to adapt. Then there's CapCut, the go-to video editing app, and e-commerce disruptors like Shein and Temu, which combine low-cost Chinese production with highly sophisticated AI-driven algorithms that optimize sales and marketing. This rapid digital expansion is not a coincidence. It's part of a long-term national strategy that has propelled Chinese tech firms into global leadership positions. But it's not just software. China is making equally massive strides in hardware and infrastructure. China's dominance in electric vehicles and batteries. A decade ago, car manufacturing was dominated by Germany, Japan, and the United States. But today, China has overtaken them all. China is now the world's largest car producer and at the forefront of the electric vehicle revolution. Companies like BYD, NIO, and XPeng are competing with Tesla, often at lower costs and with equally innovative technology. One reason for this success? Battery technology. China produces over 75% of the world's EV batteries and is home to battery giants like CATL and BYD, supplying automakers worldwide. The government invested early in lithium mining, battery production, and EV charging networks, ensuring that China leads in both innovation and production. This dominance extends beyond EVs. China also leads in renewable energy storage, a crucial factor in the global shift to clean energy. Renewable energy, the solar and wind power revolution. It's hard to overstate China's impact on renewable energy. China produces 80 to 95% of the world's solar panels and is responsible for over 60% of global renewable energy growth. Entire cities are now powered by solar farms and wind turbines, with the country racing toward energy independence. By 2028, more than 60% of the world's renewable energy will come from China. And while Western nations struggle with supply chain issues, China has secured its dominance in this critical industry. This shift is strategic. China's goal isn't just to reduce carbon emissions, but to control the future of global energy infrastructure. And it's not stopping there. Quantum computing, China's scientific edge. In the futuristic world of quantum computing, China is breaking new ground. Chinese scientists now publish more quantum-related research papers than any other country. They've already developed some of the world's most powerful quantum computers, rivaling and, in some cases, surpassing American efforts. In 2020, China's Zhejiang quantum computer performed calculations that would take the fastest classical supercomputer 600 million years to complete, a feat that shocked researchers worldwide. This rapid progress is no accident. It's the result of massive government-backed investments, talent recruitment, and an aggressive push to dominate the next era of computing. How China planned its tech takeover. China's tech boom didn't happen overnight. It's the result of a long-term, highly coordinated government plan, one that started back in 2015. That year, the Chinese government launched Made in China 2025, a bold national strategy designed to move away from low-cost manufacturing toward high-tech industries like AI, robotics, and semiconductors. The plan had clear objectives: reduce reliance on foreign technology, invest heavily in R&D and education, recruit top global talent and bring them to China, establish a dominant position in critical industries. More than 250 specific goals were set, and according to analysts, China has already achieved 86% of them. In some cases, like electric vehicles and renewable energy, the country has even exceeded expectations. But the world took notice, and that's where the backlash began. The global response, sanctions and trade wars. China's rapid rise in high-tech industries has alarmed the West, leading to restrictions on its access to semiconductors, AI, and critical components since 2018. The goal? To curb China's growing influence in global technology. Huawei, once a leader in 5G, was hit hard by US-led sanctions, cutting it off from key supply chains. Many predicted its downfall, but instead it invested in domestic microchip development. By 2023, Huawei launched a smartphone powered by advanced Chinese-made chips, proving China's resilience. Other firms are following suit, backed by state funding. As China strengthens, the tech war with the West is only escalating. The battle for semiconductor supremacy. One of the biggest battlegrounds in the tech war between China and the West is semiconductors, the tiny but powerful chips that power everything from smartphones to AI supercomputers. For decades, Taiwan, South Korea, and the United States dominated chip production. Companies like TSMC and Samsung manufactured the most advanced processors, while the US controlled chip design with firms like NVIDIA, Intel, and AMD. But as China's tech industry grew, Western nations began imposing sanctions to cut off its access to cutting-edge chips. In 2022, the US banned the export of advanced AI chips to China, hoping to slow down its progress in AI and supercomputing. The Netherlands and Japan joined in, restricting sales of high-end chip-making equipment to Chinese firms. The goal? Prevent China from catching up in semiconductor manufacturing. But China had a plan. China's push for self-reliance in chips. Instead of slowing down, China doubled its investment in domestic chip-making. In 2023, Huawei shocked the world by releasing the Mate 60 Pro, a smartphone powered by a 7-nanometer chip, manufactured by China's SMIC without access to the latest Western technology. This sent a clear message. Even under sanctions, China was closing the gap. The Chinese government has since poured billions of dollars into semiconductor research, and experts predict that within the next 5 to 10 years, China could reach near-complete chip independence. If that happens, it would be a game changer, giving China full control over its AI, military, and digital economy without relying on Western tech. State-backed capitalism. China's secret weapon? One reason China has been able to rise so quickly in tech is its unique state-backed capitalism. Unlike Western free market economies, China's government plays a direct role in funding and guiding its biggest tech companies. Take Huawei, for example. When the US tried to cripple the company with sanctions, China's government stepped in with massive financial support, allowing it to develop alternative supply chains. Similarly, China's electric vehicle industry didn't explode overnight. The government poured billions into EV infrastructure, subsidies, and battery research, giving companies like BYD an advantage over Western automakers. Critics argue this creates an unfair playing field, where Chinese companies can take huge risks without fearing bankruptcy, thanks to government bailouts. But from China's perspective, this strategy is working, and now other countries are starting to copy China's playbook. The future. Will China dominate global tech? Despite trade wars and sanctions, China's tech industry continues to thrive, leading in AI, quantum computing, EVs, and renewable energy. However, challenges persist. Can China overcome semiconductor restrictions, or will Western sanctions hinder progress? Will its state-backed economic model sustain growth or face financial struggles? As tensions with the West escalate, a global tech decoupling looms.